Hi everyone, this is Monish Bindra. I'm a NGI teaching professional. So what we're going to be doing today is discussing the bunker shot. We'll talk about the setup, the alignment, the use of the club face, and a few other aspects of the bunker shot. And in the second part, I will be talking about the bunker shot with hard lie and a soft lie bunker shot, where you don't have any sand, or then you have a bunker where you got too much of sand. So we'll do the first part. We'll open it up for questions. You can type in your questions into the chat box, and then we'll move on to the second part. Okay, so let's start with what is a bunker. So bunker is the depressed area which has sand in it, and the idea is to get the ball out of the bunker. Basically, the bunkers are around the green. Yes, you could have a fairway bunker shot as well. That shot is played differently to the green side bunker shot. So first, we will discuss about the green side bunker shot. The green side bunker shot, usually the bunkers are slightly depressed. So the objective is to fly the ball onto the green. You need to create elevation in the ball flight. So the ball must come out high and it must come out soft.
Sir, I'm just interrupting you. Your audio is not audible. It's not clear. Can you just check your internet connectivity?
My connection is fine. Do you want me to be a little closer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's good.
Okay.
Now it's good. Yeah.
So, like I was saying, you want the ball to come out high and soft, and the players at the advanced level can also spin the ball. So, I'm going to take you through the basics first of the address position, and then how do we alter the position for a bunker shot. So, as you can see, I've put out two clubs out here. That is the target line, and this is the body line. So let's just discuss normally how we play a normal shot. You address the club behind the ball on the target line. The body is always parallel to the target line. From here, where the swing go, the backswing starts where the club is parallel to the ground. The backswing starting with the help of the body turn. We get into the chest high position where the club is pointing at the ball, and then we get into the full swing. So this is how we take the backswing. Now, in the bunker shot, we have to realign ourselves. The main concept is that how are you going to get elevation on the ball? If you stand absolutely parallel, the loft of the club is going to work.
Sir, I'm just interrupting you. Your audio is not clear. So, can you just check your internet connectivity once?
As of now, I've got full connection.
Yeah, but it's not clear.
Sir, when you're standing closer to the mobile, it's coming clear. When you're going away, it's kind of getting disturbed. So maybe if you can, I don't know how to. If you can stand closer and then give the lecture and then go back and demonstrate, maybe that will be better, I guess.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, sure.
No worries, I can do it the other way now.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So, like I was saying that in the normal shot, your swing plane is already defined around the body and towards the target. So what I was trying to explain earlier was that in the bunker shot, you are not swinging at the target. You have to swing across the line, because when you swing across the line, that is how you are going to cut across the swing line, and you're going to put some flight on the ball. That's how the ball's going to come up softer. So let me go back there in my station and then explain to you how this is done. So in a normal setup, you're absolutely parallel. Now in the bunker setup, what you have to do is you will be standing across the target line. So now, if that is my target line, this becomes my feet line, which is across. And I'm going to take another glove and put it parallel to my feet line. So now please understand this one more time because this is the most important thing. This is where the amateurs or high handicapper lands up making a mistake. We stand square to the target and we try and take out the ball absolutely straight. Now, the difference here is I'm standing left of the target and I'm going to be swinging left of the target line. So let's see it in a simple way.
Sir, I'm just interrupting you. Your audio is breaking. So can you just come forward a little bit because we cannot hear you properly. So just please come forward a little bit.
Okay, let me get my. Okay, so this I hope now the audio is it better now?
It's better, sir. It's better. Okay. You can continue, sir.
Great. So when I was swinging absolutely parallel to the target line, this was my swing sequence. Now, when I turn left, because I'm swinging left of the target line, my swing sequence is exactly the same. So that means I haven't changed my swing at all. All I'm doing is I'm swinging left. Now, why am I swinging left? That is the main question here. I told you earlier, when we cut across the line, you are going to get elevation in the ball, and that's how the ball is going to come out soft. After all, the bunker is 2, 3, 4, and even challenging bunkers are 5 to 6 feet deep. So you really need the ball to fly immediately out of the bunker. That's the reason you need to cut across. And that's the reason I'm emphasizing on this point. So when we stand straight, our club face is absolutely square. Now, when I want the ball to fly higher, I need to open the club face. So I need to open the club face. When I open the club face, now my club face is pointing towards the right. So if I make a normal swing and my club face is pointing right, my ball is going to go to the right because the club face influences the ball line by 75%. So what have I got to do? I have to turn left. When I turn left, the club face turns with me, and now the club face has become square to the target line. The club face is square to the target line. I now make my normal swing, and I don't alter the swing to start with. The ball will come out towards the target. So that is how you're cutting across the target line. You're not standing straight and trying to cross your arms across, or you're trying to come across the body. Because if I do that, I'm coming across the body. You see, I don't have any space to swing. So we will be standing left, and we have all the freedom to swing because this is exactly the way we were swinging earlier. Now let me get into the use of the club face. So I can come a little closer, and this will be easier for you. When we start, we have opened the club face. Then I turn left. So my club face is now pointing straight at the target. As I'm swinging, my club face is coming across the target line. Now the key feature of the club face here is when it goes back, you want to feel that the club face is open. When it's coming into impact, in reference to the target line, the club face is open. And when it goes through, you want to maintain the club face as far as possible open. And for a long shot, a long bumper shot, the club face could get into a semi-release. But you do not want to release the club face entirely out there. And you definitely don't want to try and scoop the ball. So the club face is playing a very important role in keeping the loft, the desired loft that you want to get the ball out of the bunker. Now let me put it together and show you what it looks like. Okay, so step by step. Step 1, open the club face. Step 2, square up the club face by turning the body left. Step 3, as you are in the bunker, you need stability, so you can wiggle your feet and sink in a little bit into the sand. Because you're standing on loose sand, it's a good idea to stabilize yourself. You can get your
Sorry, sir. I'm just interrupting you again. Your audio is not clear, so people are not able to hear your voice properly. So can
So
you
what I
just
suggest, I think when we're going back on the carpet, on the mat, I think the audio is getting, it's crashing. So maybe I will request everyone also, because it might be an issue from the internet also. So sir will be explaining in front of the camera, then we'll go back and demonstrate the same thing. If you just focus on what he's saying, probably it will help.
Good. Okay.
So if there's an issue, I mean, we have to deal with it in that way.
No worries.
So sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt you again and again. So
extremely
please take
sorry,
forward.
sir. Yeah.
No worries. We're doing it live. Between us, we'll figure it out.
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
So
Yes, sir.
what I was saying here is that once you turn left, you're swinging along the body line. So what I was just going to demonstrate to you is that in the back swing, you are taking the club back, and as you're coming down in the follow through, you want to lead with the help of the belt buckle and chest. You want to lead with the belt buckle and chest. Your hands are trailing, and then your club head is getting into the sand. Now, the important point here is, which I made earlier, there is no flick. You're not trying to add loft out here. As a matter of fact, you see that a lot of professionals, when they finish in the bunker shot, they finish with the body cleared and with a high left elbow. When you get into a high left elbow, your club face stays open, maximum, because the momentum is going to get into a semi-release position. So what you're doing is, through the shot, you are actually coming down, hitting, that's the ball, you're hitting 1 inch before the ball. The club is going beneath the ball flies out, and because you've activated the bounce, the club will hit the sand and the club will come out while the ball gets greater elevation on there. Now, I can talk a little bit about the body turn, because the key feature is that as you are making the swing, you need to keep turning. You need to keep turning the body. We find that too many people are trying to hack into the sand, trying to hit too hard into the sand, trying to get the ball out. You have to let the weight of the club head work, the bounce work, but the key feature is that as you're going through, the belt buckle in the chest is continuously turning through the shot. So you must finish with your belt buckle and chest towards the target. One thing I can add more out here is that when you take the backswing, you can break the wrist and have the club go up vertically much more than what you do in the normal swing. So in the normal swing, you find that the butt end is pointing at the ball, but in the bunker shot, you can see that I've got more wrist lock. So when I've got more wrist lock, the club is more vertical. So what goes up will come down also more vertically and will come in steep behind the ball, and that steep angle of attack is going to cause the ball to rise up faster. Okay, so I can take some questions at this stage because I've generally discussed the basics of how the bunker shot has to be played. Any questions, guys? Thank you, Dadaji. मेरा पहले इतना अच्छा नहीं बनता था।
Okay, sir. So I'll put for the first question. How to play from a wet bunker?
Okay. So that was going to be part of my second part of my presentation, where I was going to talk about a hard liner bunker and a soft liner bunker. I will be covering that after this. So when you're talking about a wet bunker, usually that means either the sprinklers have been on and the bunker's gone wet, or it has rained and the bunker's gone wet, and that would compact the sand and it would come into a hard lie in a bunker. So I'll cover that shortly.
Okay. Next question. Drill for bunker shot which we can practice at home. Can you suggest something?
Sorry, can you just repeat that again?
Some drills for bunker shot which we can practice at home.
Yeah, sure. Let's look at, so you see again, I'll go back to the 2-3 key features in the bunker shot. First thing is, you must learn how to align yourself correctly. So if I'm standing right now face on, the camera's behind. The concept, and now you need to understand how to align yourself. So you need to get yourself to point left. That means the body is now pointing left of the target. The key here is that you're swinging along the body line and not towards the target line. So you have to develop that trust that you're not swinging at the target line. If you're going to be swinging at the target line, what you're actually doing is you are rerouting your path and actually coming into out. That effectively ball is not going to go towards the target, it's going to go right of the target. So your question was on a drill. The drill that I'm trying to emphasize here is stand left and trust yourself to be swinging left and watch the club face stay open to the target line and go through and not help close the club face, because see, you're going to be only hitting maybe, and if you're lucky, you're going to be only hitting maybe 2-3 bunkers in a round of golf. But majority of the shots, the balance shots, what you're doing is you are making normal swings and you are releasing the club. Now here, for the first time, you've got a shot where you are not hitting the ball, you're hitting the sand. So I would like to add there, when you're hitting the sand, the important thing there is, see, when you're hitting the ball on the fairway, what are you doing? You're looking at the ball and you're hitting the ball. Now in the bunker, are you actually hitting the ball or the sand? Now as you're hitting the sand, and we've told you before that you should be hitting 1 inch before the ball. So your eyes have to be 1 inch before the ball. So that trust element has to come in, and you can practice that at home by keeping the club face open through the shot, not releasing it, deliberately not releasing it, finishing with an high left arm, finishing with an open club face and not releasing it. Because like I was saying earlier, as you get from the fairway right into the bunker, the tendency would be to land up releasing.
So the next question is, can you suggest to play from a fairway bunker?
Yeah, good question. So, like I said earlier, there are 2 types of bunker shots, the greenside bunker and the fairway bunker. Now, the greenside bunker, you're just trying to hit the ball to about 20, 30 yards, maybe 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. So just that momentum that you're creating through the swing and the elevation that you're getting will get the ball out of the bunker. And that's about 10, 20 yards. But now a fairway bunker shot is a shot where, say, on par 5, if you hit a fairway where you still got 200 yards to go, or on a par 4, you land up hitting a fairway bunker where you've got 120, 150 yards to go. Now, there the key feature is that you have to not blast the ball, but hit the ball directly. When you hit the ball directly, you're imparting all the power and the speed that's coming from the club is all getting imparted straight onto the ball. So the difference that's going to be is going to be that in the bunker shot you're hitting 1 inch before. Here you're hitting the ball directly. In a normal bunker shot, you keep the ball in the center, or you can keep it ahead of center, depending upon the type of shooting. But in the fairway bunker shot, it is absolutely necessary to have the ball behind center. When the ball is behind center, you are making contact with the ball first and sand later. So that means you got your entire power going into the ball first and then into the sand. The rest of the swing should be absolutely normal, like absolutely square and absolutely normal swing, getting the ball first, and then definitely as you're standing on loose sand, making sure you transfer your weight and finish. Because again, a tendency is that on the loose sand, we don't tend to transfer weight. If we don't transfer weight, usually we'll end up snapping a wrist, the club face is shutting, the ball will go left.
What is the stance for a bunker shot?
Okay, so you're standing on loose sand, you need more stability. So I can, I'll first tell you, there are like three types of setups that you can, stance that you can look at. The short game, that's putting and chipping, where your feet are just as wide as the shoulders. The long game, where the outside of your shoulders match the inside of your feet. And the third part is like the bunker shot, where you need greater stability as you're standing on soft soil. So if I go back and just demonstrate this to you. So that would be a putting or a chipping setup. That would be more like a full shot setup. But in the bunker, I can get wide, I can flex my knees more, I can take my center of gravity down for stability, because like I said earlier, we are wanting to use our upper body more and not generate power with the lower body. We don't need any power in this shot. So wide and stable and center of gravity low.
How can we play in bunker which has very less sand?
Okay, so now let me get to the description of the two types of bunkers, because I know these questions will be coming back to this. Let me take it up here. So there would be conditions where you have a lot of sand in the bunker, and then you could have conditions where you have less sand or compact sand. So let's talk about the normal condition first. A normal condition would be where there is ideally about 1.5 to about 2.5 inches of sand below the ball, and there's enough room for the club to go into the sand and come out without hitting anything beneath, or too much of sand that once the club is going into the sand, it is going to get buried inside. So a normal condition would be where you have about, say, 2.5 inches of sand up there. Now, if you have too much sand, what you got to do is the ball sitting on top of the sand. So the objective is that you don't want the club to bury too far down into the sand. You want the club to just get beneath the ball, beneath the surface of the sand, and come through and not get stuck somewhere down there. So what you're doing is you're using the bounce of the club. Now the bounce of the club will work in this way that it will not allow the club to go any further down, because you're using a greater surface area which is going to stop the club from going any further down. So this is the condition where you have soft sand or where you have too much sand. Now, most of the clubs around, we'll find that over a period of time, the bunker sand gets reduced, or in India, as it rains a lot or the sprinklers are on, the sand gets compact and the sand becomes very tight, or there is less sand. Now, when there is no sand beneath the ball, if the club is trying to go beneath the ball and there's no sand, what is going to happen to this club? It is going to bounce. When the club bounces, it's going to come up and land up hitting the ball. So you're going to land up topping the ball. The ball's going to get more distance out of the bunker, or it can also come out low and hit the bunker wall. Now, this is always a challenge, but there is a way to play it. So what we are doing is we are not using the bounce. we are going to bring the club back to its neutral position. And what you're doing is you're coming down, as I told you, you're coming on the steep angle of attack, and you're trying to break the earth. You're trying to break the sand and get beneath the ball. Once you get beneath the ball as far as possible, that is what is going to add a little bit of elevation to the ball. This shot is usually not going to come out in the ideal form of a high elevation and soft. This shot is going to come out a little low and hard. But the objective is not to hit the bunker wall, not to top it, but try and get it somewhere on the green that you would possibly have a decent putt, or even if you can get away with 2 putts, it's absolutely fine.
How to hit the ball from the bunker if the flag is just in front of you?
Okay. So like I was telling you earlier, the main objective of a bunker shot is to get immediate elevation. So let me take this club right here, try and explain it. That's the player, and that's the wall of the bunker, and the pin is immediately here. What is my objective? My objective is to get immediate elevation. So if I can get the ball to fly up immediately and with some spin on it, the ball's going to land softly, and if you can put spin on it, the ball's also going to stop as soon as possible. So the key thing there is going to be to use maximum loft. This is a sand wedge, 56 degrees. As I go ahead and I open this, 57, 58, 59, 60. So it is, we can open the club face easily up to 4 degrees. Now, when I open the club face, you can see the club has got maximum bounce in play. So if the pin position is closed, you should also be having a fair amount of sand that you can use the bounce. So two features become, one is you are using the bounce. Second is you must come on a steep angle of attack. If you come on a shallow angle of attack, you're already into the sand too early, you will not make the ball fly out immediately. So you must come in at a steep angle of attack out here and keep the club face open. So that's going to get the ball out nice and soft. And of course, we cover a short distance.
Why do we hit the sand first before hitting the ball?
Okay, so look at it this way: that the bunker shot, the ball is the bunker. This is for a green side bunker, I presume. So the ball has to only come out just over the wall of the bunker, and then it has to come to a stop. So if you take a swing and you hit the ball directly, whenever you hit the ball directly, the ball is going to come out with a low trajectory. The possibility is you may land up hitting the wall. The second thing is, if you don't hit the ball has come out with a low trajectory, so it's going to land on the green and run off the green, or you may even fly the green. So you want to make sure that you are hitting into the sand and not hitting the ball. So the major thing there is that the entire thrust, the entire power is going into the sand, and because of that, the elevation is being caused, and not by hitting the ball directly.
Is the swing speed?
I hope that answers that one. If there's anything else on that one, I can take that more.
Yeah. Is the swing speed same as normal shot or different for bunker?
Very good question. So, like in my last answer, I just said a very important thing. You have to have adequate thrust into the sand. So you need to have a fairly good club head speed so that you're going into the sand and the ball's coming out. If you don't have adequate club head speed, the club is going to hit the sand and going to get left in the sand itself because the club does not have adequate speed. So the club must have adequate speed. But a common fault that happens is that when we are trying to create the speed, if we lose our momentum and timing, we lose our sequence in the ball swing. And if I lose my sequence, I am going to alter my path. So we normally see that if you go too hard, then the players tend to get a little shallow because it's coming from the inside. They'll come too shallow in the ball. It'll be a thin. They'll land up topping the shot, or they could also land up flicking the shot. So let's sum it up by saying that maintain the same tempo, maintain the same rhythm. That is key. Yes, you can add a little bit of speed to the shot because you're hitting the sand and not hitting the ball directly. But do not compromise on your rhythm and tempo. That is the most.
The next question is how to get a distance judgment with bunker shots.
Very good question. Because usually when you ask that to your weekend golfer, the club golfer, he'll say, feel. I just went to feel. Now, the whole theory behind it is that you have to first develop the mechanics and then develop the feel around the mechanics. That's how you see the professionals look so effortless because it looks as if they've got everything always under control. But let me tell you, hours and hours of practice has gone into developing the distance management. So I'm going to step back and explain the distance management part of it now. So if you look at the swing, you can break it up into various parts. You can break it up into, say, position waist high, chest high, or even a full swing. So when I'm saying that there are these three denominations, let's try and use these three denominations and see how far does the ball go. So take a sandwich, 56-degree sandwich, that would be a standard sandwich. Just make a swing waist high to waist high, see how far does the ball go. And hit, say, about 10 balls and do a grouping. So you'll come to see that with, say, waist high to waist high, you're taking the ball out, say, about 5 yards. Then go chest high to chest high and do not alter your tempo and rhythm. As the swing's going to get longer, you are going to get faster. And just the length of the swing work, let the tempo work, and you'll see that the ball is going to come out to about, say, 10 yards or so, say about 30 feet. And then make a full swing and you'll find that the ball's coming out 40 feet. Now, you must get your grouping right. That's what I say. Hit 10 balls with the first part of the swing, then the second part and the third part. Get your numbers down. Everyone is using a different club and everyone has a different sense of rhythm and timing. So you are all going to produce different numbers. But whatever number you are producing, a 10-yard or a 15-yard, that is your number. Now, you got the professionals register that right up here. We don't take out a diary every time to see how far I need to swing to make that. And I would take it onto the golf course and I'll see a 10-yard shot. And I'll take, so if I got a 10-yard shot, I am going to make a swing, which is going to be approximately waist high to waist high. Use my body momentum. My body carries a lot of weight and momentum, and that will enable the ball to come out. That number is mine. So we all need to establish our number.
How to improve my bunker shots? So what are the steps to improve your bunker shots? That is the question.
I'm going to just ask you to give me the question again one time, and I think I need to just increase the volume here. Okay. What is the question again, please?
How to improve bunker shots?
Yeah. Well, how to improve your golf game? That's the question actually there. Now, you need to understand what's going on with your swing. You need to figure it out, or usually go to a professional golfer or a teaching professional who will be able to identify exactly where you're going wrong. It doesn't have to be a very big or long lesson. It can be a very small thing. Like I said, if you're a person who's coming into the shot and unknowingly you are releasing because you know in every single shot you're supposed to release, you are not educated enough to know that in the bunker you're not supposed to release. Right? Now take that tip and you have to spend, say, at least a bucket of balls, maybe 2 buckets, hitting balls, say, out of the bunker. And just implement the tip. Do not alter the tip without knowing what the next step would be. It's like blindfoldedly following a particular concept and see what comes out of that. Once you see the difference, once you see that it starts working, pick up the next bucket of balls and hit that to start implementing that. Once you get that right, then hit the third bucket of balls and start working on your field. And that's what a professional golfer does. He hits buckets on buckets on buckets to cement his golf. So the basic concept is that you need to spend time practicing.
When the ball is in the side of the bunker, what is the position of the ball? When the ball is in the side of the bunker, what is the position of the ball?
I'll need a little bit of clarification on that question. When the ball is in the side of the bunker, that means it's on the ball is lying on the side of the bunker, or is it the outside of the bunker, like the edge of the bunker? The player's inside.
That is not clear. So she has written when the ball is in the side of the bunker, what is the position of the ball? That is the question.
So I'll just request this person to rewrite or rephrase his question. I'll take it up.
I request Shinjini to please write the question again. Going to the next question. How do you hit a bunker shot
with
a 7 iron? Yeah. How do you hit a bunker shot with a 7 iron?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
No, I cannot hear you, please.
Can you hear me? Is it clear, sir?
No.
Audio is
very
not
muted. I cannot get the audio.
Okay. Now, sir? Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me, sir?
I got my volume on full and no, I cannot hear you.
1 second, sir. Now?
Let me just, I guess, just come a little close and hear you.
Yeah. The question is how to hit a bunker shot with a 7 iron.
Okay. So, when would you actually use a 7 iron for a bunker shot? Let's understand that a lob wedge, a sand wedge is the usual club because it's got maximum lob. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get the ball immediately out of the bunker because there's a wall to the bunker and the pin is usually 10 or 20 yards away or a couple of feet away. So we need elevation. Why would I use a 7 iron? Because a 7 iron, that's where the loft of a 7 iron is going to be. Now, the ball's going to come out low. So I'll land up using a 7 iron in a fairway bunker. Say I hit my 7 iron about 172, 173 on the fly. I am going to use it only out of a fairway bunker so that the ball can come out with a penetrating trajectory, get maximum distance. Sometimes in the fairway bunker, the wall of the bunker is high enough that I cannot, even if I'm going to cover 200 yards, I cannot use a 4 iron or a 5 iron because the wall of the bunker is too high. I'm going to take a 7 iron, make sure, the first objective is to make sure that the ball flight is good enough to fly the wall of the bunker. It may be a 7 iron, 170 yards, that's maximum that I can get. So a 7 iron would be played out of a fairway bunker.
How to hit from a plug position? How to hit from a plug position?
Can you try and do something on the volume because otherwise I just come close.
Sir, can you hear me? I'm audible.
You see your voice is audible, but it's like down to just 1 or 2.
Okay. So I'll put the next question forward. How to hit from a plug position?
How to hit from
a plug position?
Sorry, repeat that, please.
How to hit a plugged ball, plug position?
Yeah. Okay. While I'm answering that, just see if the technical team can get the volume back for me. So,
sure.
What is a plug ball? It's basically the ball. Say you hit a high shot and it's come and landed in the bunker, but it's gone beneath the surface of the earth. You had a really good shot with a lot of backspin on it, but you haven't made it to the green. It's going to land in the bunker and it's going to spin backwards, and the ball is going to sit down in the bunker. So basically, the surface of the bunker, your ball is beneath the surface of the bunker, like it feels as if it's sitting in a bowl. Now, that's again a shot which will be treated like a tight lie, a shot where you have less sand. As the ball is sitting beneath, it's going to be very difficult for me to get the club under the ball. So what I have to do is I have to come with a steep angle of attack. So I'll start again with not entirely using an open club face in the bounce. I will keep the club fairly square, and I will come with a steep angle of attack into the ball. When I come with a steep angle of attack, that's my only chance of trying to get under the ball, and that's how we'll get some elevation. So usually you'll find that the ball is not going to have much elevation. It's going to come out low, it's going to come out hot and running. It's not going to stop in the quickest possible time. Now, even if it runs through and it's you left with the long part, let me assure you, if you've got what we say a buried ball or a fried egg lie, and you can get the ball on the green, stopping somewhere on the green, and you left yourself with a putt, you've actually done a pretty good job with that shot.
How to hit a bunker shot if one is close to the wall? How to hit a bunker shot if one is close to the wall?
Yeah, got that. So if the ball is close to the wall, so how's that going to happen? That means, you hit a shot which is run through the bunker. So let me treat that as the wall of the bunker. The ball has come and sometimes even tried to climb the wall of the bunker, but it comes down. The ball's landed on the green in the bunker and rolled up to the wall of the bunker. So what is my first challenge? My first challenge is that I want this ball to immediately fly. It does not have time to come out with a low trajectory because you will land up hitting the ball. The ball may come out and may not come out, but even if it does hit the ball and come out, you've lost all the spin on the ball, and the ball's going to land up on the green and it will land up rolling. So the objective is to fly the ball immediately out of the bunker. So key features. How are you going to get the ball to immediately fly? Use the loft of the club. This is what's going to help the ball fly. You do not want to come in shallow. If you come in shallow, you hit the sand and you have gone too far below the ball. You're not going to impart any trajectory. So you again need to come in steep into the shot. Now, I'll go further to describe the shot because what happens is when the ball comes next to the wall, the challenge is usually when we are all playing bunker shots, all the sand is getting accumulated next to the wall. Now, the area next to the wall has more sand usually than say in the middle of the bunker or in the back of the bunker. So now if you have more sand at the front end of the wall, remember what I told you earlier? If you have more sand, what have you got to do? You have to use the bounce of the club. If you do not activate the bounce and you use the leading edge of the club, it's going to come and get buried into all the additional sand and you will lose the thrust. So remember, the bounce has to be activated. The second thing here is that when you come to the end of the front of the bunker, the wall is going up. So you're no longer going to be standing like that. You are most probably going to be standing like that because you're now on a slope. Now, when you stand like that, you got to make sure that your angle of attack is matching your spine angle. The mistake that we make is that the slope is like that, but we land up standing straight. Now, when I land up standing straight, the club is going to come in too steep and it's going to bury itself into the sand. So very, very important for you to match yourself with the slope, your spine angle, and come in with the correct angle of attack. I guess we would cover that somewhere down the line in sloping lies. I hope that answers your question.
How to prevent from hitting a top in the bunker? How to prevent from hitting a top in the bunker?
Okay. So why do we land up hitting a top? Let's look at the possibilities. Why do we land up hitting a top? If the ball's lying there, then the club's coming down and it's come down too early and it's already on the rise and you make direct contact with the ball is going to be hit and it's going to like come out low. It's going to come out with topspin. Now, the first objective in the bunker is that we are not hitting the ball directly. We are hitting the sand. And once we are hitting the sand, we are going beneath the ball. So there is no physical contact with the ball. So there is no way you can top it. Now, if I can demonstrate to you from here, what happens is that if I'm coming to shallow, and I come in shallow, and I come to the ball, shallow and come to the ball, I am going to get into the sand too early and exit and end up hitting the ball as well. So the key feature is that again, you need to be swinging across the target line so that you're steep and you get beneath into the sand and there is no physical contact with the ball. Once there is no contact with the ball, you will not top the ball.
Does the amount of sand you hit to get the ball out depend on how far we are from the pin? Does the amount of the sand you hit to get the ball out depend on how far are we from the pin?
Okay, good question again, because you see there are these concepts where hit 1 inch before the ball, hit 2 inches before the ball. So if you hit 1 inch before the ball, say you'll get an X amount of sand out. But if you hit 2 inches before the ball, you will end up getting more sand out, right? But you got to remember that when you're taking less sand, that means you're closer to the ball will travel an X amount of distance. But if you're taking out more sand, you're putting less thrust behind the ball. So you will not get the ball to travel that far. Now, as you know, I played on the tour and as a professional golfer, I would say that stick to one method. That means you're hitting always 1 inch behind the ball to get the ball out. For distance control, don't try and hit at different places because, like I just told you, that's also going to affect your trajectory. See, if you hit too close to the ball and the angle of attack is correct, you can get the ball high. But if you hit too far away from the ball, you're not imparting any thrust on the ball. That ball is going to come out low in any case. So keep your technique the same, keep your concept the same, just vary the length of your swing, and that is going to give you distance control.
Is the swing speed same as a normal shot or different? I think you have already answered this question before.
Yeah, so try and keep the tempo relatively the same. You can feel the swing speed is slightly increased, say like instead of swinging at say 60 miles an hour, you can feel you're swinging at just about 65 miles an hour. Don't really step it up to about 80, try and go too hard because that's just going to alter your swing plane or change your swing mechanics.
Do we wear a glove in the bunker?
Yeah, keep everything the same. You see, because it's a full shot. A bunker shot can be a half shot or a full shot, but take it that you still need your grip right. And why do we wear a glove? Usually in India, we're playing most of the time when our palms are sweating. If my palm is sweating and I have direct contact with the glove, there is a possibility that the hands are going to slip off the grip. So we wear the glove so that there is no direct contact with the grip. Now, even in the bunker, just keep it same. There are players who are happy keeping the glove on even for chipping, but you go a little forward from there to explain that there are a lot of players who like to remove the glove only while they're putting, because putting is something where you need a fair, beyond the mechanics, that is one aspect where you need a fair amount of feel for distance management. So if you remove the glove, you have your hands straight on the grip. There's a better feeling and there's more connectivity, but I would just limit the removing the glove only in putting.
How to hit a plucked ball? How to hit a plugged ball?
I have already answered how to hit a plug ball, a buried ball, uh, uh, like what you say, a Friday ball which is down. Plug ball is basically the ball which is beneath the surface. So steep angle of attack, right? That's the main thing. Using square club face, closer to a square club face and a steep angle of attack. You have to break the earth to get beneath the ball.
How to hit a ball in the bunker with wet sand?
Again, we've just covered that before. That when it rains, the sand is going to get compact, and you need to again exactly like the plug ball, more square club face, steep angle of attack. You need to break the sand and get beneath the ball, because when the sand is compact, it's very difficult to get beneath the ball. The whole objective is that somehow you have to get the club beneath the ball. Only then the ball is going to get elevation.
There is a question. When I hit long bunker shots, I always stop the ball. Is my swing bad?
Good question. It usually happens. So if you were in this program earlier, you would have just taken the key point in the long bunker shot, that in a normal shot, if your ball position is in the center or it is ahead of center, what's going to happen is that the club reaches its low point and you're hitting the ball on the way up. In the bunker shot, we are replacing the ball position to behind the center so that you're hitting the ball straight. Your club is coming straight first onto the ball. So what does that mean? If I'm going to hit the balls, I'm going to hit the ball first, I'm not going to really be able to top the ball. Topping the ball happens when the club is on the rise and the ball is too far ahead. So just move the ball position. In your case, just move the ball position behind the center. Same swing. Don't change anything. I presume that the problem should get solved.
There is a question related to grip pressure. Sir, someone is asking, grip pressure will be similar or normal? What will be the grip pressure? Grip.
The grip pressure should be similar or normal?
Yes.
Okay, so again, a good question on the grip pressure. Now, what we have said is that when you are holding the club normally for a normal shot, so your grip pressure should be at about, say, 3-4. So it's more on the relaxed side. But if you realize something, that once we complete the backswing, or we are completing the backswing and we get up there, just with the weight of the club that is increasing here, the grip pressure started increasing. And as I come into the shot, I want to maintain the same grip pressure. I don't want to really increase the grip pressure. Now, what happens when you increase the grip pressure? If you increase the grip pressure too far, you do not land up releasing. So what are we trying to do here in the bunker? So it's a catch that if you increase the grip pressure, you will keep the club face open, right? That's the easy part to understand. But the important thing is that you need to generate adequate club head speed as well. If you want to cling on to the grip, you're going to make your grip pressure very tight. That the second thing that does is that it's going to reduce the speed. So you have to establish a grip pressure, which I would say would be around maybe about 5 or 6. If you understand what was 4 initially, 4 was relaxed. We can get to about 5 or 6. We don't want it to get really tight, and definitely not loose, because if the grip pressure gets loose, the moment the club face hits the sand and you have a loose grip pressure, the club is going to turn in your hands and you're going to lose the club face, and the club is going to get buried into the sand. The club's not going to come out of the sand. So the grip pressure will slightly increase in the downswing.
The swing after hitting the sand will go till where? The swing after hitting the sand will go till where?
So, like I was saying, it's all depending upon the length of the shot, right? So you need to establish your distance management, your swinging. So I'll just go back for a second. You could be swinging waist high to waist high, chest high to chest high, or even a full swing. So the length of the shot is going to dictate the length of the follow through, but usually you'll find that I use my body momentum and I've got adequate club head speed. And when I come through, so usually you'll find that professional golfers finish somewhere here with a bunker shot. The important thing is that the belt buckle in the chest is facing the target, but you're still in control of the club. You're not letting the club head go or getting disconnected, but you're still in control of the club. Because every single shot in golf, you're trying to hit it to a specific number when you come down to the irons. When you're trying to hit it to a specific number, it's like making a specific swing. So you actually have to always be in control of your swing, even in the fourth.
What is your recommended bunker setup? What is your recommended bunker setup?
So I started the show there earlier, and I talked about the important aspects in the bunker setup. So I'll just repeat that. That would be that understanding your alignment in reference to the target line, the club face, and the stability in your setup. So I'll just go through it quickly one more time. You can open the club face, open the body. So I'm standing left, and as I open the club face and open the body, I can get my feet a little wider than my normal setup, wiggle my feet, sit down, center of gravity down, slightly seated out there for balance. So club face, alignment, setup. Those are the three important things even before you start swinging the club.
How to hit a 160 yards full shot from the bunker?
So that's a full swing shot, 160 yards. Say it could be a 7-iron for somebody, 160 could be an 8-iron for somebody. So it's a full shot. Obviously, it's a shot where you've driven the ball into the fairway bunker and you've got a long shot coming out 160, 170 yards. You got to know the correct distance or the yardage that you get with your club. So if someone it's a 7-iron to say 160, he gets into the bunker and he's trying to hit a 7-iron to that particular distance. So again, you're going to make flush contact, you're going to make contact straight on the ball, you get your distance. Yeah, one important thing that we need to understand here is because when we make contact with the ball and there is not compact soil beneath the ball, we're getting into loose soil, that we lose traction. When we lose traction, we lose distance. So what we normally do is that if I was in between clubs, I would take the higher club. Say instead of hitting a 7-iron, I'll end up taking a 6-iron. Remember, when you're not in an ideal situation, you've drawn a fairway bunker or you've drawn a sloping line, the job at hand is to get the ball on the green or at least hit a regulation. And if you can get it to the pin, that'll be a bonus. So what I would like to say here is that take the additional club, cater for the additional distance because you will lose the distance in a fairway bunker shot. So you can go half a club up or you can go one club. Yeah.
Can we hit rescue from a fairway bunker?
Absolutely. You can hit a rescue, you can hit a fairway board. It all depends on how far the ball is from the wall and you have to visualize the trajectory. So I know if I'm hitting a sandwich, I can get that trajectory. If I'm hitting a 7-iron, I can get that trajectory. If I'm hitting a rescue, I will get that trajectory. So if I'm getting, say, that trajectory for the ball to take off, you got to know when the ball reaches the front of the bunker, where the ball is going to fly over the wall of the bunker, you should be able to visualize that the ball is going to take off over the bunker. So what is the first objective in a bunker? To get the ball out of the bunker, right? Now, we land up sometime getting a little greedy that instead of a 9-iron, let me try a 7-iron, I can get that additional distance. But we forget what the trajectory is going to be with the other club. Your mind is saying, I want to get additional distance, but your mind has not calculated that trajectory. So instead of having this trajectory, with the 7-iron, you land up having this trajectory. and you land up hitting the wall. You left the ball in the bunker itself. Now you haven't got out of the bunker. As a matter of fact, you are now closer to the ball, and the next shot that you hit, you'll be able to just about get it out. So not only have you lost a shot, you're also losing distance. So step up on a club. If you think that a 7-iron is good, no harm in taking an 8-iron. You still have to hit the next shot into the green. So take a 8-iron, make sure you get the ball out of the bunker, clear the wall. That should be the main thing that's going through your mind.
So someone has requested any drill for rotation of hips.
Yeah, okay. So what do you see happening in a normal swing? So I'll just take this club and put it around my hips. What do you see in a full swing? You'll see that when we turn back, the right hip turns 45 degrees. When we turn through, the left hip is turning 90 degrees. So that is the rotation of the hips in the full swing. So if you're practicing right now, in the sense that you are just learning the game of golf, the swing, you have to, okay, you can start with this drill. The right hip and the right shoulder turns back first. So from this angle, the right hip and the right shoulder turns back first, and make sure that the hip turns 45 degrees. When the hip turns, only then the shoulders will turn. Same way, the follow through, let the left hip turn first, and then the left shoulder, and the chest is coming through. So for beginners or for intermediate golfers, it's very important to understand the sequence. Hips, shoulders, arms. If you don't move the hips, the shoulders will not turn. And if my shoulders don't turn, my arms will get disconnected. So it is hips, shoulders, arms, hips, shoulders, arms. If I lock up my hips, my arms have now gone to different lengths. So definitely I can't hold the club there. So sequencing, hip, shoulders, arms. 45 degrees in the backswing, 90 degrees in the follow through for a full swing.
What club to select for a green side bunker with flag at 20 yards?
So 20 yards is a fair amount of distance. 20 yards is say about 60 feet. And I would suggest that use a sandwich, because sandwich having 56 degrees of loft can give you the 20-yard shot. So I'd like to explain a little bit more here. So what are your options? Your options are that if you have a lob wedge which is 60 degrees, you have more loft, the ball's going to fly high. You have a sand wedge where the loft has become lesser, the ball's going to fly a little lower. And advanced players also use a pitching wedge. So the pitching wedge, there's no book to say that you can't use any other club from a green side bunker. So use a pitching wedge and the ball's going to come out lower. It will come out lower and it's going to run. So coming back to your question, like I said earlier, you need to establish your distance control. So get into a bunker, get your waist high to waist high, chest high to chest high, and the full swing with one club, which say would be a sand wedge. Get your distances, get your zeroing done, then you will start having a better understanding as to how far do you hit that club with these three denominations of the swing. Sandwich should be good for that shot.
Ball with a perfect lie on bunker versus ball embedded in sand. What would be the basic difference in approaching the bunker shot?
Okay, so I've already covered this earlier, which I was saying that in a normal bunker shot, you're coming in not at a very steep angle of attack. You're coming in slightly shallower angle of attack, not steep, but shallower angle of attack. You're going to automatically get beneath the ball. The ball's going to come out. And when the ball's sitting below the surface, you need to come at a steep angle of attack, break the earth, get beneath. Only then you will get some elevation. So the difference is a much more steeper angle of attack coming into the ball, and also not using too much bounce, using the leading edge of the club, coming more with a neutral or a square club face.
How to create a spin when a ball is in bunker? How to create a spin when a ball is in bunker?
So spin can only be created if you have an ideal line. If the ball is sitting down, embedded, you cannot create spin. Even out of so let's just take it that, say, the ball sitting in an ideal situation, you have to have the correct angle of attack. If you come in with too steep angle of attack, the ball is going to pop up. So you will not create spin. If you come with too shallow an angle of attack, you will end up hitting the ball. And the ball is going to come out low and you're not going to get spin. So you have to come with an ideal angle of attack where you are entering the sand 1 inch before, getting, say, about 1 or 1.5 inches beneath the ball, and then going through. So that's obviously the highly advanced shot where you are being able to impart spin. So you really have to have very, very good trajectory control for spin. It should be the ideal trajectory, and your angle of attack has to be the same every time to create a spin. You can't be altering your angle of attack. So I would suggest that try and start by hitting some shallow shots where the ball may come out low, and then slowly make it a little, you can get a little more beneath, and you'll find that the ideal angle of attack will come to create the spin, and you cannot get too steep on the ball.
So the next question is, what is the role of the wrist when you are trying to hit a ball, trying to control the hit? What is the role of the wrist? Yeah. What is the role of the wrist?
So let's see what does the wrist do in the swing. So if I've taken my setup, I am hinging my wrist there. This is a lever. This loads up the wrist. Now, in the bunker shot, as I go back, I've discussed that you can pick it up a little steep. When you pick it up steep, what you're actually doing is you're hinging. Now, this hinge produces the additional speed, which is not there, say, in the normal swing, because in the normal swing, my butt end, ideally, I wanted to point at the ball. In the bunker shot, I created the additional hinge. When I create the additional hinge, I've got the lever activated, so I'm going to produce the extra power. But in the follow through, as I go through, we do not want a flip, so I don't want my wrist to move there. And we don't want the ideal release also where I'm using the wrist correctly. As a matter of fact, I'm going through where I'm holding off my wrist position, and that effectively holds off the glove wrist position. So in the bunker shot, you're loading in the backswing, but you're holding off in the follow through. And just by loading, you're getting adequate load and speed, the lever. And in the follow through, as you're holding it off, you're maintaining the club face. And that is all controlled by your wrist position.
Sir, there is a long question from Mr. Rakesh Kochar. I'm just reading it out. It's like, I am not having half of master finger of right hand, and whenever I play a bunker shot, my club moves. Please tell me, how should I control my shots?
So, well, it's a situation where as I can see, your trigger finger, well, as you don't have the trigger finger, so you're not in control of the club here. Now, this is a very, very important position because the trigger finger and the thumb, as they press against each other, gives you a fair amount of control in the right hand. So what's going to happen is that as we, unfortunately, as we don't have that position, the club is going to most probably flip over or move in my hands. So the suggestion I can give you, and you can try it, is that increase the grip pressure in your case. So we are going contrary to what we talked about, but as you increase the grip pressure, you'll be able to clinch onto the club, and effectively the club will not move in your hand, but it will reduce the club head speed, but at the same time, it will allow you to keep the club face more open and not release. So try by increasing the grip pressure from 4, try to go to 6. If that doesn't work, you have to go to 8. But what I'm trying to suggest here is you're trying to really hold on to that club so that club doesn't move in your hand.
How to get spin out of bunker shot? Does one need to hit more closer to the ball to get more spin? Is it also true hitting 3 to 4 produces roll?
It is the last part is also.
Is it also true hitting 3 to 4 produces roll?
Hitting 3 to 4 inches before.
Produces roll.
Okay, let me take the first part about
how to get the spin out of the bunker.
Yeah, so I just covered that by telling you that the angle of attack is very important. If you come in too steep, the club's going to get buried and the ball's only going to pop out. If you come in shallow, you will exit and you come too close to the ball, so the ball's going to come out low. It has to be the ideal angle of attack where you are entering 1 inch before the ball. The club is gliding beneath the sand, but that is also about an inch and a half below the ball. Just that much friction is good enough to create the spin on the ball. So you have to put in fair amount of practice in having the correct angle of attack coming into the ball. The second part, please.
The second part is, does one need to hit more closer to the ball to get more spin?
No,
does
you don't
one
need.
Yeah.
No, just the ideal angle of attack is good, and like I said, you shouldn't be altering, hitting close or hitting too far because well, you practice it for many hours, but the objective should be that you have to control your trajectory, but always try and hit 1 inch before the ball.
Why are the wedges grips are round but the putter grips are triangle?
Okay. Not only the wedges grips are round, but all the clubs other than the putter, you will find that the grips are actually round. Though the shaft for both the clubs is like a cylinder and the grip is also a cylinder, so cylinder is round, and that's where all the clubs other than the putter. Now, the difference is because the only difference in the grip type is between the hitting grip and the putting grip. For the bunker, you use the hitting grip. For chipping, you use the hitting grip. For a driver, you use the hitting grip. But for putting, you don't use the hitting grip, you use a putting grip. Now, the putting grip ideally is not an overlapping grip. Overlapping, and in the fingers, this is the standard grip where you'll take it 80 to 90% of the fingers, the thumbs will come across, and that can be done better if your hands are on a cylindrical grip. But in putting, you have to have your hands going apart. That means it's a split grip. It's a split grip where your thumbs are running parallel. Now, when you want to make your thumbs run parallel, as the grip is flat, it's like a flat front. It's a lot easier to put the thumbs parallel on a flatter surface out there. That also enables your palms to go under because of the way of the design of the club, and allows the elbows to go beneath. Now, effectively, that would give me this as a position in putting vis-a-vis this as a position in hitting. So, putting is an entirely different shot where the arc, where the club is traveling, is straight back, straight through. In hitting, we are around the body, we're trying to generate more speed. Also, the feature is that when you use your fingers and your wrists more, you can throw something further. But the moment I split it and my fingers and my palms have opened up, I cannot generate more speed, and that is the important thing for putting. So the putter grip is the only club which is different to the all the other clubs, and they have different grips.
On which leg should the body weight be in the bunker? On which leg should the body weight be in the bunker?
Okay, good question. Like I was saying earlier, that we want to have a slightly steeper angle of attack as you want to get beneath. So always a good idea that you can have your weight a little bit. So I'm going to keep the shaft in the center and get my weight. So 55, 45. Now that enables me to come down steeper. It also enables me to turn through a lot easier because my weight is already on the left side. So the moment I start the downswing, so 55 goes up to 65, 75, and I can easily turn through. So you can have your weight on the left side, on your left leg at about 55%.
In a fairway bunker shot, does it reduce distance? If the answer is yes, then how much?
Yeah, as I was explaining earlier, that the club is going to hit the ball, but it's going to hit loose soil, so you lose traction. When you lose traction, you will lose distance, and you should go half a club up to one club up. So usually, I would say that if you make fairly good contact, you will still land up losing about somewhere between 5 to 7 yards on a good club head speed. But if you don't have adequate club head speed, then you could lose more distance, maybe even 10 to 15 yards.
The next question is, should we stand close to the ball in a bunker shot?
No, we are not standing any closer in the bunker shot. I explained earlier that the normal shot and then the bunker shot, you stand a little left. So you're trying to go through with the same swing. The only thing that you'll feel is as you sit down and you got your hips back, you're creating a little bit more room only in this area. The rest of the setup is the same, but we're making exactly the same swing. We are not pulling our arms towards the body that we need to. We have created that room. We're making the swing below our shoulders on the same path. So we're not really giving ourselves a very separate posture.
What should be the ball position when the ball is stuck in the edge of the bunker?
So this is again got to do with that if that's the wall of the bunker, the ball has rolled up to the front of the bunker. The important thing here is that, like I was telling you earlier, the spine angle. Now, let's look at it that if I'm standing normal and I've got my ball position, say for a normal bunker shot, I've got my ball position, say in the center. Now, the moment I tilt my spine behind, what is going to happen? My center has gone too far behind the ball. And this is what's going to happen when I go up against the wall. My spine is going to tilt behind. Now my low point has gone too far behind the ball. And instead of hitting 1 inch before, I land up hitting 2 inches before. So I need to move my ball position also just slightly behind so that I can still make that ideal contact of 1 inch. So as the spine tilts back, the ball moves back. Yeah.
I think we have done with the questions. We don't have any question right now, so you can show us if you want to carry. You can show something.
So yeah, thanks for a bunch of those questions, and you pretty much covered the length and the breadth of what all can go on in the bunker. Like I was telling you earlier, let's just sum it up. Where you got to align the club face first. So activate the bounce, right? Activate the bounce. The club face is pointing to the right. We get the body to turn left, and the club face is now pointing to the target. But now as I'm pointing left, I need to make a normal swing along the body line. Use your body, wrist stop here, hold off the club face here. I would suggest go into a bunker, try some of these things out which you feel are missing, and I'm quite sure you'll be able to see that you'll get a bigger percentage of shots coming out. For the other shots, the ball below the surface, the tight lie, get a little steeper onto the ball, use the standard club face. So I'll just sum it up with this.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining this session. Before I'm closing this session, I would like to request all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And there is an appeal to you. If you want to contribute towards feeding underprivileged children, please contact us. Our number is 84202 40000 84202 40000. So thank you all of you for coming and joining for this session. And thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for being on the show.